NATO summit plans are looking historical, but Iran is probably clinging completely to get out of the meeting agenda. The main topic, however, seems to be pushed under the rug for now as Trump's alarm bells are ringing in the global West. After the G7, it's now. Trump will take the first time in The Hague from Tuesday since 2019, and you're warned. Trump seemed to be out of NATO during the issue a year earlier. He had even thought out loud about the United States leaving. But the new NATO General Secretary Mark Rutte is considered a Trump whisperer. He has now apparently prepared everything for the best possible meeting. More or less all NATO countries have been resented in the United States after years of resentment. Nominally even to the 5% that Trump possibly out of whim as a goal. Trump returns to the NATO summit. The U.S. news agency classifies the NATO appointment in The Hague according to Donald Trump's taste, but it also sees risks. The summit can either deepen or create a split between 32 allies. As a one-off element, especially for the USA, Rutte has identified higher military spending. Germany had promised the 5% of the gross domestic product early on, divided into 3.5% for armor and 1.5% for militarily usable traffic infrastructure. Almost all other countries followed. This unity could become the historical point of the meeting. Europe wants to keep Trump happy, for example, to avoid withdrawal from U.S. troops from Europe, expert Minna Allander recently told our editorial team. Spain, however, spins the Trumpist Sanftiger out of the ranks. Premier Pedro Sanchez announced a special tariff of 2.1%. Rutte danced around this question. There is no opt-out. NATO firmly assumes that Spain must invest 3.5% for armor and 1.5% for militarily usable traffic infrastructure. There was only a clear no from Italy. In Spain, 46% of the respondents spoke out for a larger defense budget, 32% against it. Everything for Trump. Rutte's NATO summit for leader with a short attention span. Despite Iran's topic, despite the discount from Madrid, Trump seems to be the best things at the NATO summit in the Netherlands. After the U.S. strokes against Iran's nuclear program, including the following ceasefire in the Israel-Iran war, the U.S. president should feel the winner. The strategy of Europeans could be congratulate and silence. Because the U.S. intervention in Iran had previously been controversial in Europe. The concern of retaliation and an escalation of this war is huge, said EU Foreign Commissioner Kaja Kallas on Monday morning. Especially one. And Emmanuel Macron publicly doubted the legality of the U.S. strokes. After the fragile ceasefire, the world could at least look a bit friendlier. In any case, Trump's high mood will hardly want to disturb the other NATO leaders, the British suspected. According to Rutte, the Iran crisis will not be an official topic. The core topic remains the common defense. He wrote with a sharp spring of a shortened meeting, designed for leaders with a short attention span. In fact, only a dinner is on the program on Tuesday evening. The content part of the meeting should take place within a few hours on Wednesday. NATO summit in The Hague. Trump meets Zelensky, but NATO prefers to talk about Russia. Then an important protagonist will no longer be there. He's only welcome before and at dinner on Tuesday. After all, it is an opportunity for the Ukrainian president to meet Trump's face again. Actually, the two should have met at the G7 summit in Canada, but Trump left prematurely. And let a scenario want to avoid NATO, if so as not to let new malice and feelings of superiority in the Kremlin. Rutte, wherever possible, minimize the risks. The fact that Trump leaves the summit even before the opening evening dinner under theatered honor seems unlikely. And a daring communique in the direction of Russia is not even planned. Review of the first 100 days. Trump turns the USA upset. Chancellor Friedrich Merz, CDU, and France's President Macron are bagging a chronicle in advance in the unbreakable solidarity. This was crucial for Europe's stability, they wrote. We will make sure that Ukraine is flourishing, robust, and safe from this war, says Sales to the NATO summit. The we apparently referred to Germany and France. Rutte also made it clear on Monday. Our support for Ukraine is steadfast and will continue. His U.S. said NATO. Trump's attitude is not officially handed down.